Live from historic Dunn Field, it's once again time for Elmira Pioneers baseball, as for a third consecutive day, the Pios are home at the Dunn, taking on, once again, the Geneva Red Wings. Good evening, everybody, for Pioneers Pregame Live. I'm Farrell Hudson. We'll have all your pregame and live coverage tonight as the Pioneers look to make it 4 straight victories against the Geneva Red Wings to open up 2025 and salvage a victory tonight before they hit the road for an early 11 a.m. start time versus the Newark Pilots tomorrow. That's Marcus Smith's squad rolling in hot, 7-2-1 in their opening 10 ball games to begin the summer season. So the Pios will certainly have their work cut out for them. 5 games upcoming this weekend, one against Newark tomorrow, a continuation game, a game in which Elmira leads the Pilots 3-1 heading to the 5th inning. That will be made up earlier on Saturday afternoon, and then the nightcap, a 7-inning game at Dunn Field to conclude that day's affairs. Then you move on to Sunday, a 2-game stretch versus the Jamestown Tarpskunks. So, in essence, a really busy schedule for the Pioneers. Last night, it started off promising for Elmira. They welcomed in the Auburn Double Days, 3rd time this season playing Auburn, 2nd time from Dunn Field, and the game got started off with a roar for Elmira. They scored 7 runs on 6 earned, 2 hits only, 4 walks and no strikeouts. Not even recording an out was their starting pitcher. That's the Doubleday's Hunter Lefkis. And the big highlights in the bottom of the first, Anthony Manganiello, a 3-run double. A couple batters later, Michael Palmer, a 3-run shot. But then it all went down from there pretty much in the ball game. A 7-run top of the 3rd for the Auburn Doubledays tied the ball game up at 7 even. Felt more like a football score than it did a baseball game. And then we moved to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Things started to get promising for the Pioneers. Shane Starr had a double, came in to score along with Brendan Hammer on a ground ball down the 3rd base line from TJ Grimesti. He continues to remain hot, up to 8 RBIs on the season for him as he notched a 2-run double. Pios had a 9-7 lead, and then they entered the top of the 4th inning. Zach Nelson came in relief, and he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits while walking 2 and striking out 1 across an inning of work. And from there, Auburn never looked back. They took a 10-9 lead, eventually ended up winning 15-11. The good news for the Pioneers is they got quite a couple formidable relief appearances. You look at the last 3 to come out of the bullpen last night. Bryce Mechanic, who pitched an inning and 2/3. He gave up 2 runs on 1 hit, but walked 1, only 1, struck out 3. So a good walk-to-strikeout ratio for him, only an earned run charged to his name. Across 5 outs, Gio Valerio, an inning and a 1/3. No earned runs on 2 hits, no walks and 2 strikeouts. Andrew Roxby, out of the national championship-winning Misericordia University Cougars baseball program from just a season ago, he played last night, pitched for the 2nd time in 3 ball games, pitched against Geneva last Saturday at Sal Maloney Field at McDonough Park, locked down the victory for the Pioneers. Last night, 2 1/3 innings of work and got touched up a little bit, but 2 hits, 3 runs, none of them were earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts for the Pioneers. The errors continue to be a theme. At least 4 ball games with 2+ errors for Elmira this season. They've made 1 in at least each of the first 11 games they've played, and the Pioneers find themselves entering tonight's ball game 6-5, good enough for 5th place in the Western Division, just trailing the 4th place Niagara Falls Americans by half a game. Why is that important? Because the top 4 seeds are the only ones to make the playoffs in the PGCBL West Division. So the Elmira Pioneers, despite the 0-3 start, then got to 6-4. They were on a tear and cooled off last night with a 15-11 loss. But spirits look to remain high within the clubhouse. And today, on a special edition of the Clubhouse Report, I caught up with Pioneers coach Eugene Barber. I'm pleased to be joined here on Pioneers Live pregame with the assistant coach for your Pios and Eugene Barber. And coach, tough game last night, but how are you guys looking to rebound tonight?
Well, I mean, after a game like that, after you get out of the clubhouse, lick your wounds a little bit, it's time to compete the next day. We were here for 4 hours last night for a game. It was a long one, but we got a lineup out there that's going to go ahead and get after it today.
What were some of the most important things that you'd like to improve upon following last night's game? You had a 7-run lead and unfortunately weren't able to salvage the win.
A lot of people think of baseball as an individual game, but it truly is a team game, and last night really speaks to that. Offensively, we go out there and put up a 7 spot from the offensive standpoint, and defensively, we played pretty sound, and, third component of the game, pitching on the mound, got behind on some hitters, and, they did damage. Auburn did a really good job last night, staying within their approach, and, really working our pitchers, getting ahead. But that's something that we got to work on too.
Do you guys feel like you have to change your approach, especially on the mound going up against one of the better hitting teams in Auburn? Is that something that you're going to have to look forward to going forward?
We can't be afraid to win early. I mean, that's one of the things that I see it from the side is that, we're kind of timid early in counts on the hill. And we can't be afraid to win early. We got to win early so we can win late.
Offensively, you left 15 runners in scoring position last night. Is that still something that's still of concern, or did you feel overall just the offensive contribution was still strong enough last night?
So overall, I mean, throughout the season, especially the first, 10 or so games, you're really just looking for guys to step up as you get guys from different schools. You're not sure what they're capable of and, really who can handle being in those big spots, because that's what we're going to need if we're going to compete for a championship.
Turning it over now to tonight's ball game, you send Brendan Hayes out for the start. A bit of a tougher go-round for him last time. What are you looking to see from Brendan this time around?
Again, just philosophy from our pitching staff. We got to win early so we can win late. He's got to get ahead on hitters so that way he can compete late in counts.
How confident have you felt with this bullpen so far? Guys like Gio Valerio, Casey Julkowski continuing to do their thing.
We're finding out a heck of a lot about these guys in our bullpen. We got some real dogs out there. We're just trying to get them in better position in game so that way we can go ahead and close it out.
It's notable that tonight Andrew Jones might make an appearance in relief. What does Andrew have to improve upon following that last tough go-round in Auburn?
I wouldn't say that he necessarily has to improve anything per se. The outlook that I would look for is that just continue to gain knowledge, continue to be a sponge, take everything in so that way you can grow as a player and as an individual.
Do you think it has been more mental than physical for him so far, being a high school player just assimilated into a college lineup?
Yeah, I think it's, for the majority of our pitching staff, I think a lot of it's more mental rather than physical. It's just we need that inner Pio mentality. We got to go out here and perform for E-Town. This is our city, and we got to go out there and show out.
What defines inner Pio mentality?
So, willing to dig in. When things get hard, something might not go your way. The place might not be perfect. The situation might not be great, but you have to learn to overcome it. Whether if you fail once, you fail twice, you got to get right back out there.
Coach, thanks for your time.
So overall, a really good message from Pioneers assistant coach Eugene Barber. I love that he mentioned willing to dig in, inner Pio mentality, playing for the city. Just some awesome sentiments shared there today, as he also spoke about Brendan Hayes taking the mound. Pioneers want to get ahead early in counts. Hayes knew that his control issues were a bit of a problem on Friday night against Batavia, but he's got some real nasty stuff. Potential wipeout slider that can cut against lefties, dip away from righties. Some real exciting pitching arsenal that he has the capability of achieving. I got to speak to Hayes a little bit pregame today as he talks about his start tonight.
I'm pleased to be joined on Pioneers Pregame Live by tonight's starting pitcher, Brendan Hayes, as your Pios get set to take on the Geneva Red Wings. Brendan, in order for you to improve upon that first start, what do you think some of the keys are to the game tonight?
Just staying confident with my pitches, locating the slider, throwing it with intent, not trying to baby it around. Tough ground last time, but I think throughout the week was working on it and feel a little bit better, so I feel like tonight will be a lot better.
2 2/3 innings for you last time. You still got 2 strikeouts in the game. What did you like about some of your stuff when it was working well?
I thought the fastball was pretty good in the zone at all times. Was just getting ahead of a lot of guys. The slider to the lefties was not the greatest, but the righties that I did face, the slider was pretty good. Could locate a couple sliders here and there, but as the game went on, kind of lost confidence in the pitch, but I don't think that'll be a factor tonight.
Do you feel secure building more of a rapport with the catching rotation now between Dalbeck and Grimesti and Wagner?
Yeah, for sure. I think all our catchers call great games. I think everyone's pretty good behind the plate. That game was totally on me, but I don't think that'll be a factor tonight. Like I said, I think everyone will be pretty good tonight.
Mentally and physically, what's the transition been from your college season to now the summer with the Pios?
I think this is a step back. A lot more fun playing baseball here. It's not Game 7 of the World Series here. It's not as serious, but at the end of the day, you still want to do good. So, just more fun, honestly.
Yeah, overall, I was going to ask, what is the atmosphere like, and how do you guys feel now building upon pretty solid winning streak earlier this week?
Yeah, obviously it was a tough loss last night, but that's baseball. Games like that are going to happen, but we're pretty confident in the locker room and our guys. We're pretty connected. Just got to stay confident down the stretch in the games and, stay true to who we are.
What's the comfortability like having 2 of your college teammates in Bobby Boying and Ben Rohde here?
It's pretty good. Those are my boys. We all get along great down in Barry, and they're 2 great ball players, so it was fun. It's fun having them here, but, every guy here I've gotten along with great, so we're all pretty close here and, looking forward to a great season.
This is a Geneva team that you've seen a couple times in the last couple weeks. Does that give you more security knowing what their roster is like and some of their hitters?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know the last couple of times we faced them, they're righty heavy in the lineup. So I think the slider will play a lot better to righties than it did lefties last go around. But I think if I'm dislocating my fastball like I want to, then I don't think it should be too much of a problem. Garrett had a great start last time locating the fastball. And, I think if I can just do the same, I think we'll have a good night tonight.
Brendan, thanks for your time. Best of luck.
Of course. Thank you, Phil.
So overall, Brendan Hayes in good spirits as the Pios enter tonight's ball game with Geneva. Currently, lineup cards are being exchanged between the manager of the Red Wings in Thomas Eaton and the manager of your Pios in Andy Drum. Coach Drum joking around today saying, hey, let's have Coach Barber do the clubhouse report because I don't want to start ruining the mojo. We got on a losing streak last night. Let's switch some things up today. Overall, a very lighthearted mood on tap as we get you set for baseball on this overcast Thursday evening from Dunfield in Elmira, New York. Stick with us here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Coming up, we have the Anthems lineups, first pitch of baseball. Stay with us.
Horseheads Youth Choir doing the honors tonight for the national anthem as the Elmira Pioneers have taken the field, and we welcome you inside the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Once again, good evening, everybody. I'm Farrell Hudson. Glad you could join us on this Thursday evening as the Geneva Red Wings come into town for the fourth matchup of the season between Geneva and Elmira. Pioneers are looking to make it a perfect 4-0, and they're going to look to do it with their right-hander Brendan Hayes on the mound. Brendan got the start last week against Batavia, a bit of a tougher go-round for him. Pitched 2 2/3 of innings and got roughed up by Batavia. 5 runs, 4 earned. He walked 4, hit 2 batsmen. So a bit of a tough start for him. Pioneers overall pretty solid on home field, 5-3 at Dunn Field. As Hayes takes his warm-up tosses, let's take a look at the Geneva Red Wings starting lineup. Zach Banks, the designated hitter, will lead things off. Jaden Madrid playing shortstop tonight. He'll bat second. Madrid can move all around the infield, but he's starting at shortstop. It's Jordan Perry, the center fielder, to bat third. Jack Turner doing the cleanup in tonight's ball game. He'll be the extra hitter. Aiken Santana, you saw him at first base in Game 2 of that doubleheader on Tuesday night. He'll be at third. Sam Fleming gets the start in left field. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh is Braden Michelson, the second baseman. Michael Ucci, who came in relief and surrendered the walk-off single to Brandon Dubeck on Tuesday night. He's behind the plate tonight, catching and batting eighth. Braden Freeman is the right fielder. He'll bat ninth. Brock Ratterman, whom you also saw at first base, instead in Game 1 of that doubleheader on Thursday, the continuation game. Check that on Tuesday, the continuation game in which the Pios led 8-3, ended up winning 11-3. He got the start at first. He'll be back there tonight. Brendan Hayes taking his warm-up tosses right now. Hayes, you go back to just a season ago, 1-0 across 5 relief appearances for Barry University in Florida. He posted a 5.4 ERA, a 1.6 whip across 5 innings, striking out 4 and walking 2. Was named to the Sunshine State Conference Commissioner's Honor Roll in the process. Hayes making his 3rd appearance on the season for the Pioneers, as we're set to go. Just moments away from Banks stepping in the lefty batter's box as we'll look to get underway. Left to right in the outfield, Elmira defense. Manny Esley gets the start in left. A last-second game-time decision for Kosei Ogura, whose arm was starting to hurt a little bit pre-game. Dylan Fanovich is in center. TJ Grimesti is back in right field tonight. John Simmons manning the hot corner. Aiden Grabowski back at shortstop. Jacob Moniz is the second baseman. Brooks Itkin out of Jacksonville, Florida, is over at first. Anthony Manganiello out of Northwood University doing the catching tonight for the tall, lean right-hander Hayes, who comes set right side of the rubber, kicks and fires the first offering of the ball game. Hayes pops it up, shallow left field. Out is Grabowski. In comes Esley, who puts it away for out number 1. So a high pop-up that evaded the left side of the infield from Banks. Had a lot of hang time on it and hung up in enough time for Esley, who is playing relatively deep in left field, to come in and make the catch, saving his shortstop Grabowski, who had to run out about 100 to 120 feet. Aiden doing a good job of covering real estate. Nonetheless, it's Esley with the play. 1 pitch, 1 out, and the bases are empty for Jaden Madrid, who takes a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. Madrid played last at Herkimer College this season, batting .342 across 39 ball games. Breaking ball over the inside corner from Hayes for a called strike 2. An emphasis on Hayes working quickly ahead. He stated that in his pregame conversation earlier. Line drive back up the middle into center field for a base hit. So the slider hung up at the letters for Madrid, who knocks it into center field, quickly thrown back in by Fanovich to hold the Geneva 2-hitter to a 1-out single. So with 1 out and the speedy Jaden Madrid off of first base, they'll bring up the lefty swinging Jordan Perry to the plate. For Madrid on the season, he's got 1 stolen base in 3 attempts. He's been caught stealing twice. Leads off of first base. Medium-sized lead with 1 out, and the fastball over the outside corner taken for a called strike by Perry. It's 0-1. Perry batting .300 on the season. He's gotten the start in 7 ball games. 6 hits, an extra base hit. Still no RBIs.
Perry with an OPS of 790. Relatively formidable start for him, primarily manning the center field position. 0-1 the count with one out. The righty Hayes to the lefty Perry, just underway here at Dunfield in Elmira on this warm and overcast Thursday evening. Potential showers in the skies to come. We'll keep an eye on that. A swing and a miss. Hayes establishing the heater over the outside corner. Gets Perry to cut through it. 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes the count with one out. Madrid's off the first. Hicken holds him on. Madrid got on with a single up the middle into center field. Off the 0-2 offering from Brendan Hayes. Still yet to throw his first ball of the inning. There's a swing and a miss from Perry. High fastball. And Brendan gets him to chase through it. So the first strikeout of the ball game for Hayes. 2 outs and a runner on first here in the top half of the first inning. It'll bring up the extra hitter, Jack Turner. Digs in from the right side. Turner, primarily when he's in the field, plays first base. First offering, righty on righty matchup is a slider outside 1-0. Turner batting .207 across 12 ball games. 6 hits, an extra base hit, and 3 RBIs as he takes the fastball from Hayes for a called strike 1. Hayes comes set out of the stretch. Short lead for Madrid, and Hayes will toss over to Hicken at the bag to keep Madrid honest. 1-1 the count, coming to 2 outs, just underway, top of the first. It's the righty hitting Jack Turner. Hayes kicks and delivers a swing and a miss. Slider over the inner third, well established by Brendan, just below the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Hayes looking to complete a relatively clean first inning of work. Comes set right side of the rubber. Madrid takes off. High fastball hit to deep right field. Grimesti goes back on his horse, settles about 30 feet in front of the warning track, camps under it, and puts it away for the final out of the inning. So for Geneva, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner stranded on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first, no score here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira as we get you set for the home half of the first inning. Pioneers and Red Wings, no score. As taking the mound for Geneva is the right-hander Dawson Thomas. He's pitched to an 8.59 ERA across 2 ball games on the season. 7 1/3 innings of work for him. 10 hits, 7 runs all earned, 7 walks and 4 strikeouts. Pitching to an inflated opposing batting average of .345 across 29 hitters who have come to the plate against him. Let's take a look at the Elmira Pioneers starting lineup. Ty Martineau, the extra hitter, he'll lead off. TJ Grimesti in right field will bat second. John Simmons at third base will bat third. Anthony Manganiello doing the catching tonight. He'll do the cleanup for the Pios. Aiden Grabowski, the shortstop, inserted into the 5 spot tonight. Brooks Hicken at first base will bat 6th. Jacob Moniz at second will bat 7th. Kosei Ogura is the designated hitter. He'll bat 8th. Manny Esley is the left fielder. He'll bat 9th. And rounding out the batting order is the center fielder Dylan Fadovich. So as we head to the bottom of the first, let's take a look at Geneva's defense. Left to right in the outfield, Sam Fleming is in left. In center, it's Jordan Perry. In right field, it's Braden Freeman. Left to right in the infield, Aiken Santana at third. Jaden Madrid is the shortstop. Braden Michelson at second. Brock Ratterman at first. Thomas is on the mound. Michael Ucci is behind the plate for Geneva. So here comes Martineau to the dish. Martineau, a really strong start offensively. 6 hits in his first 20 plate appearances, an RBI. He's walked twice, an on-base percentage of .364. Bats from the left side against the lanky right-hander Thomas, who comes set, working out of the windup, and the bottom of the first inning is underway. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0, the count to tie. Pios surrendered a hit in the top of the first inning. It came off the bat of the righty hitting shortstop Jaden Madrid with 1 out. Following that, Brendan Hayes struck out center fielder Jordan Perry swinging on a high fastball, and then got Jack Turner to fly out to deep right. Line back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Good piece of hitting from Martineau, and he's aboard to lead off the bottom of the first. So that'll bring up TJ Grimesti. Grimesti has cooled down to a modest .344, if you will, across 10 ball games. 11 hits, he scored 8 runs, 3 extra base hits, a homer, and 9 RBIs, a .988 OPS. That's how belligerent his beginning in a Pios uniform has been. He'll bat with nobody out, righty-on-righty matchup. Thomas kicks and fires. Grimesti a high fly ball down the right field line. That's sailing towards the Pios bullpen and out of play. 0-1 the count. The wind's starting to blow in. A potential rain shower on tap. Once again, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Don't want any other suspended games or potential rainouts, so monitoring the forecast isn't essential, especially considering the idea of saving arms. You have an 11 a.m. ball game in Newark tomorrow. About an hour and a half road trip you have to make. 0-1 from Thomas is high and away. 1-1 the count to Grimesti, who peeks down at his third base coach and manager of the Pios, and Andy Drum, diving back in safely ahead of the quick pivot throw over to first from Thomas is Martineau. 1-1 the count, nobody out, bottom of the first inning. Martineau leads off at first. Martineau has registered 1 stolen base on the season. 1-1 misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Wind starting to pick up here on the dirt of the infield. At Dunn, another quick throw back to first. Martineau was leaning and dove back in just ahead of the quick tag applied by Ratterman. A good snap throw again from the pitcher Thomas. You love Martineau's urgency off the bat, but the Pioneers do have to be a bit careful. Don't want to get thrown out on the bases to make the first out of the inning. 2-1 to Grimesti. This one grounded first base side into right field for a base hit. Martineau's going to take the turnaround second. He'll stop right there. So 2 on for the Pios with nobody out. 2 consecutive hits off the bat of both Martineau and Grimesti. So here comes the lefty hitting third baseman, John Simmons, for the Pioneers. For Simmons, a really strong showing so far in a Pioneers uniform. He's batting .400 across 7 games. Team leaderboard, clear and by far, Simmons, the leader in extra base hits with 4. Takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike 1. Well located over the outside corner from Thomas. Aiken Santana at third is even with the bag. Middle infield is at double play depth. Jaden Madrid at shortstop shades over towards second base. In at the lip of the infield grass at first is Brock Ratterman. Outfield, relatively medium depth. This one smacked off the mound, takes a carom. Madrid's going to come in, play with a bare hand, throw to first, not in time. It's going to be an infield hit for John Simmons. 3 consecutive hits to open up the bottom of the first inning. And the Pios have the bases loaded and nobody out. So with the bases loaded and nobody out, the Pioneers have the guy appropriate for this exact spot. It's Anthony Manganiello, who last night in the bottom of the first inning cleared the bases with nobody out against Hunter Lefkis, hit a 3-run double, which began the scoring party. Pioneers led 7-0 after one last night. Auburn obviously coming back to take the victory 15-11 in what was a wild 4-hour-plus ball game. Thomas comes set right side of the rubber against the lefty Manganiello, who takes a ball low, 1-0. Manganiello, another guy with an incredibly formidable impact in his opening 5 ball games on the season, batting .500. His OPS at 1221. 1-0 the count with nobody out. And the slider catches the inside corner. Called strike to Manganiello. It's 1-1. Martineau leads off of third. Grimesti off of second. Simmons off of first. 3 hits in the inning for Elmira. Still no score. Pioneers looking to strike first. Well within their capabilities of doing so. 1-1 to Manganiello. That one in the dirt. And across the catcher, Uchiup, who originally set up over the outside corner and had to dive back in attempts to shield that ball away from trickling to the backstop, which would have easily allowed the speedy Martineau to come to the dish. So 2-1 the count with nobody out. Righty and lefty matchup continues. Thomas kicks and fires. Manganiello takes a fastball high and away. Anthony well in the driver's seat. Good fastball count here. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody out. We'll look to see what Anthony does here. Does he sit dead red on a fastball? Does Thomas throw the fastball? You'd assume so, with no place to put Manganiello. Still nobody out. Home half of the first. Thomas kicks and fires. Manganiello grounds this back up the middle. And at second base, it's Michelson. Flips Madrid. No play at second base as Madrid bobbled it. A run comes in to score. The bases remain loaded. And the Pios lead 1-0. I would assume that bobble will go down as an error on Madrid, who bobbled it, likely an E6. A run comes in to score. Elmira leads 1-0 as Manganiello continues to get on base. He reaches base safely for already the 9th time in his opening 16 plate appearances in a Pioneers uniform. It'll go down as an E6. So Grimesti's off of third, Simmons off of second, Manganiello's off of first, nobody out. Bases remain loaded, Pioneers with a 1-0 lead. Here's the right-handed hitting shortstop, Aiden Grabowski, as Aiden takes a fastball over the inner third for a called strike 1. No lead, likely feeling safe for Elmira after last night's ball game, but getting a big lead early doesn't help. Grabowski will look to help that cause here. 0-1 the count as Aiden takes a slider just off the plate. Well located over the outside corner. Uchi tried to bring it back with a nice frame job. 1-1 the count. Outfield plays at medium depth for Grabowski. Aiden on the season batting .150. 4 RBIs, tied for third on the Pios in that category. Great opportunity to break out of his slump here. 1-1. Coming to Grabowski with nobody out as he fists it foul against the screen. Got jammed on an inner half fastball from the righty Thomas, and the count runs to 1-2. A run on 3 hits and an error here in the bottom of the first. Elmira leads 1-0 over Geneva. 4th matchup of the season between the 5th place Pioneers and the last place Red Wings. 1-2 the count with nobody out. Righty on righty matchup. Thomas comes set. 1-2 on the way to Grabowski, and this one poked down the right field line, likely going to get a run home. Cutting over is Freeman. He'll put it away for the first out. Tagging and coming to the plate and scoring is Grimesti. So a productive out from Aiden Grabowski. It's a sac fly, and Elmira leads 2-0. Simmons in the process advances to third. Grimesti in to score. Manganiello stays off of first. Pios have runners on the corners with one out and a 2-run lead. Rain starting to come down a little bit harder here from Dunfield. Manganiello, about a 10 to 12 foot lead off of first. Righty on lefty matchup to Hicken with one out. And Brooks takes a fastball over the outside corner for a called strike. Well executed at the knees. 0-1 the count from Thomas to Hicken. Brooks batting in the 6th spot for the Pios tonight. As the rain coming down really hard now at Dunfield. Thomas is going to step off the rubber. As a looming black cloud over Dunfield comes rolling through. We knew there was potential for rain in the forecast. And now the downpour ensues. Hicken batting .231 on the season. Awaits a 0-1 pitch with one out, and he lines this to third. Santana snares it. The throw back to first with Manganiello off the bag, and he's thrown out. So the play goes 5-3. Brian Joe's going to disagree. But at the end of the first inning, the Pioneers lead 2-0. So 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners stranded on base. Elmira leads 2-0 as we head to the second here at the Pioneers Baseball Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are once again in a rain delay. Please stick with us here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network as we'll get you an update as to when we're getting back to playing baseball in soon enough time. For now, the Pioneers lead the Geneva Red Wings 2-0 as we enter the top of the second inning of action. Stay with us here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network.
No, this Geneva means a go. Yo, roll it back up, boys. Let's play. Yeah. Oh my God, you say give it to everyone. Play baseball. Play baseball. Good some games. But also, all we have to do, all we realistically have to do. Wait, listen up. Basically, we just have to save one of our really good pitchers from the first game. They all fucked them. They all went point. I don't care. All went point. This is one who shut down.
I heard that we're getting a first.
Oh!
I heard that we're getting a
That I did. Is he a pitcher?
No, he's
Short? Maybe we need something crazy.
no, we need
Who did? All of us.
no, this was just said.
No, they've been agreeing with that for years. They get one player.
No, today from the person who was like,
Yeah, they like can't pick one for every game.
this CJ just like,
But they can you're going on my run. No, like most of the time, it's a good thing though, because like obviously he's gonna look good. Like they want him to get reps, like playing. Like he's really good enough for the Pios, so he's gonna get the reps they want. Eight, that's what I'm saying. They just want to get him reps. Same thing with John Simmons too. They just want to get reps.
it also wasn't my mind for catching. He's my mind.
Isn't Altuve like 501? Yo, imagine like genuinely like yo, like how much does that actually sell like this money? That's gonna be so much.
How tall are you now?
I'm probably I'm totally great at I'm at least as tall as your boyfriend. Farrell's supposed to be 6'5", but Farrell's not that much taller than me. Farrell is not telling you. Farrell's like 6'2" and like fucking 9'8".
Mikey Ben, go back to back.
We just did that.
No.
I do your boyfriend's not 6'3" though.
No, he's not. He likes.
Pretty hard at least equal, if not taller. Talking about
No, how much have you guys
deep or loud? Julian is not loud. Why are you? hours worth of work right here. Tanner?
I don't like looking at him. Well, it's the same row as Michael Palmer. People that I don't like looking at, Michael Palmer and Matt Gibbons.
Everybody in my class